Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and stories from around the world. I'm your host, Walter. Today, we're taking a closer look at a complex situation unfolding in the Middle East, where Lebanon finds itself caught between two powerful forces, Iran and Israel. Lebanon has long been a point of contention in the region, with various groups vying for influence and control. The country's fragile politics have been further complicated by the presence of Hezbollah, a Shiite Muslim militant group backed by Iran. Hezbollah was founded in 1982 to oppose Israeli occupation, but its popularity among Lebanon's Shiite community has also made it a significant player in the country's politics. Recently, there have been efforts to find a solution to this situation, with some proposing that Hezbollah disarm and transform into a purely political party. This idea is part of a broader plan, backed by Egypt and other regional players, which aims to strengthen Lebanon's state institutions and promote a more balanced power-sharing system. However, as with any complex geopolitical issue, there are many challenges and uncertainties. Some experts question whether Iran would be willing to give up its influence over Hezbollah, while others wonder if Israel would accept a disarmament deal that doesn't address its own security concerns. We've spoken to several analysts about this proposal, and their views are mixed. Some see it as a positive development that could help stabilize Lebanon and reduce tensions in the region. Others are more skeptical, arguing that the plan relies on unrealistic assumptions about the willingness of key players to cooperate. One thing is certain, the situation in Lebanon remains volatile, with many different factions and interests at play. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates and analysis from experts in the field. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into the latest news from across the pond, where UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced his resignation. This move marks the sixth time in a decade that a British leader has stepped down under pressure. The country is now bracing for its seventh Prime Minister in 10 years, with former Mayor of Greater Manchester Andy Burnham emerging as a potential successor. As we explore this story, it is essential to consider the broader context. The UK's mainstay parties, including Labour and the Conservatives, are facing significant challenges. The rise of alternative parties like Reform UK has shaken the traditional political landscape. This phenomenon is not unique to Britain. Many countries worldwide are experiencing similar shifts in their political environments. The reasons behind Starmer's resignation are complex and multifaceted. Critics argue that his leadership style and policy decisions have contributed to the party's decline in popularity. Others point to deeper structural issues within the Labour Party, including internal divisions and a lack of clear direction. Meanwhile, the Conservative Party is also grappling with its own set of challenges, from Brexit to economic stagnation. As we analyze this situation, it's crucial to remain impartial and avoid taking sides. The UK's political turmoil serves as a reminder that even established democracies can face significant disruptions. It will be interesting to see how the country navigates this period of uncertainty and whether the incoming leader can stabilize the government and address the pressing issues facing the nation. The global implications of this development should not be overlooked. As countries around the world struggle with their own political and economic challenges, the UK's experience may offer valuable lessons. By examining the factors that have contributed to the collapse of traditional parties in Britain, we can gain a deeper understanding of the forces shaping politics globally. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to the Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, we're shifting our focus to a developing story out of Turkey, where authorities have launched a significant crackdown on suspected terrorists ahead of next month's NATO summit in Ankara. According to reports from Deutsche Welle, Turkish security forces have arrested over 200 individuals believed to have links to the Islamic State and other groups deemed terrorist organizations by the Turkish government. These arrests come as part of a broader effort by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's administration to tighten security in anticipation of the NATO summit, which is expected to draw leaders from all 31 member states, including U.S. President Donald Trump. The summit, scheduled for July 7th to 8th, has prompted Ankara to implement strict security measures, including bans on public demonstrations starting from June 28th and restricted access to roads leading to airports. The operations targeting suspected terrorists are not uncommon in Turkey, which has faced threats from various internal dissident groups. Last month alone, a nationwide sweep resulted in the detention of 324 people suspected of being associated with the Islamic State. This recent wave of arrests specifically targeted alleged members of the Islamic State and the Revolutionary People's Liberation Party Front, DHKPC, a communist group that Turkey has designated as a terrorist organization. As the world watches the developments leading up to the NATO summit, it's clear that security will be a top priority for Turkish authorities. The balance between ensuring the safety of international leaders and respecting the rights of Turkish citizens will be closely observed. It's a delicate situation that highlights the complexities of hosting major international events in regions with significant security challenges. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.